as well.
B-side on the beat.
What's going on with that PPP? You done a lot of talking, not a lot to see. Up in the millions like 2.3, but Geoff got it all, getting off scot-free. Try to talk tips like we talking about stock, but you're talking about men printed on called stock. When you open your mouth, I take it with a grain of salt, cause the market's down and you're a clown, it's all your fault. You ruin the hobby I love with your bullshit. Geoff Wilson, Geoff Wilson. You ruin the hobby I love with your bullshit. Geoff Wilson, Geoff Wilson. Did you dip, Geoff? I think you dipped, Geoff. What you talking about? I don't think you dipped yet. Willie's doing shady shit like the GOBs, like his whole failed thing with them NFTs, taking money from the people to pay. Most of them are broke, but that's okay, he's getting money. Even better, tax-free, loving all the stimulus from PPP. You ruin the hobby I love with your bullshit. Geoff Wilson, Geoff Wilson. You ruin the hobby I love with your bullshit. Geoff Wilson, Geoff Wilson. You ruin the hobby I love with your bullshit. Geoff Wilson, Geoff Wilson. You ruin the hobby I love with your bullshit.
B-side on the beat.
What's going on with that PPP? You done a lot of talking, not a lot to see. Up in the millions like 2.3, but Geoff got it all, getting off scot-free. Try to talk tips like we talking about stock, but you're talking about men printed on called stock. When you open your mouth, I take it with a grain of salt, cause the market's down and you're a clown, it's all your fault. You ruin the hobby I love with your bullshit. Geoff Wilson, Geoff Wilson. You ruin the hobby I love with your bullshit. Geoff Wilson, Geoff Wilson. Did you dip, Geoff? I think you dipped, Geoff. What you talking about? I don't think you dipped yet. Willie's doing shady shit like the GOBs, like his whole failed thing with them NFTs, taking money from the people to pay. Most of them are broke, but that's okay, he's getting money. Even better, tax-free, loving all the stimulus from PPP.
Woo.
You ruin the hobby I love with your bullshit. Geoff Wilson, Geoff Wilson. You ruin the hobby I love with your bullshit. Geoff Wilson, Geoff Wilson. You ruin the hobby I love with your bullshit. Geoff Wilson, Geoff Wilson. You ruin the hobby I love with your bullshit.
What is going on, everybody? Hopefully, guys are doing well out there. That is right. It is another Thursday night here on sportscardradio.com. The chat is fired up. I need to get my iPad going too. Turn on that 49er game, which I think is airing right now on Amazon or one of those channels. We have Ryan. It looks like he's in the secret location, and we are joined, have the privilege of being joined by super producer WWE Dipped Tim in the background, dipping and diving. I'm sure all his way through Hermosa Beach, California. Ryan, how are we doing?
I am doing excellent tonight. I mean, what a day today. To be honest, there's more people that are going to go to this article on our website today than watch this live stream, even in the playback. And as you can see, I have cranked up the advertisements over here on Sports Card Radio, ladies and gentlemen.
Fantastic.
Look, you get past the first fold and we have ad. This is how I like it, ladies and gentlemen. Because literally tens of thousands of people, for some reason, are interested in this controversy that we will talk about today on Sports Card Radio. But I got so excited when I came home from wherever the hell I was, and there were like 330 people actively on the site at one moment. And I knew that I immediately needed to go over and there's a little slider button where you can turn up the ads. And I cranked it. I didn't crank it all the way up. There's a little thing where I can crank it up to where if you click on a link, a pop-up comes up. So I didn't go that far, but I will next. I definitely will next time. We have ads of Mamba Breaks on every single page of our site. If you want to advertise on Sports Card Radio, please, sportscardshow@gmail.com. Not a joke. This is a sponsored post. Somebody paid us for this post. I have no idea what the hell it says.
Does Tim get a cut of the ads, or is it just
we have this like diced up, you have equity stake in the video, and then over here on the website, this is like basically 100% my grift right now. Wow. But I mean, is this sports card content? No, but the dollar figure was enough to put it on our website. So if you would like to advertise on Sports Card Radio, if you want to download the Fanatics Live app, we get $7 if you do so. Click on her cute little face and do so. So you can tell that I'm super fired up. I hope the chat's fired up. Spoiler alert, it is 3-0 San Francisco 49ers ahead of the New York Giants. So I am super excited today because literally, like, we're talking into the 5 figures of people will go to this article today for some reason. So we'll talk about that today. We got a bunch of things to talk about. Should I run down the agenda real quick and stop?
Oh, why not?
Yeah, I should have turned the ads down before we started the show, but whatever. We can talk about the Panini WWE debacle. The WWE pulled a move similar to the NFL that we talked about. It was about a month ago, actually. And the WWE kicked Panini to the curb. And we've got dual lawsuits that were filed yesterday. We'll get into a little bit of that. Is the NBA next? The UFC owns or is kind of co-owned with WWE now. So you can imagine what's going on with there. I think I was watching like Sports Card Dad video today, and Michael Rubin was with what's his name? Adam Silver, the NBA commissioner.
Oh boy.
So literally did an Instagram picture with them together. So you can imagine what's next there. We've got the Discord drama. We've got a Panini redemption nightmare story to tell you guys about. We have Jabs family. Guys, you might want to sit down for this. We have joined the Jabs family Patreon. So we will talk about that. And we got an email, guys, from none other than the hobby hero himself, Geoff Wilson. So we'll talk about that as well. That's right. Geoff Wilson, the sports card investor, emailed Sports Card Radio this week. Probably one of the 100 emails we got this week. I mean, these things are coming in left and right. We have a couple bonus topics if we get to that. Bidding on a ton of things. I was going to bid on this card. And this is why you do a little. I'm not saying that's a fake patch, but it wouldn't shock me if that's a fake patch.
Yeah.
And it's not PC's fault. They don't grade the patch. It's not Golden's fault because they're not sitting here looking over a $50 card like this. But what Panini, this is the first year of Panini 2009. And what they did in future years, they would do the primes number to 25 and they would put prime on it. They would usually put prime underneath this or on the back. So it just looked a little sketch. And then I did look up some of the 250 ones and there were single colors. So I'm like, it's a little sketchy. So I just want to make people aware that, hey, just because it's in a holder, just because it's in an auction site, doesn't mean that doesn't mean this is fake. I mean, we have to ask Ty and Rick if this is real or not. But it just, I don't know. It didn't give me the warm fuzzies. We have an Eminem signed record that we're high bid on.
I want that.
We have a couple Babe Ruth cards. One is a PSA 1. Ooh. The fun is the altered one looks better. So Brent or Gary, who worked on this one, looks better. But
we got the one. That's too much. Wouldn't bid on that. Whoa, look at you.
Paid 19 for those. That's at 70. We're high bid on this Kevin Durant. We're high bid on this Kareem. We're definitely not bidding on that. And I just brought that up just in case.
Was that Brock Purdy?
Yeah.
Is that Brock Purdy? I mean, I think Brock Purdy's real. I mean, we're not breaking any news here. I think from what I've just seen of him, and the 49ers are the team that I watched the most of other than the Bengals. I mean, the guy is good. The guy is a legit, and I'll tell you how I feel about quarterbacks. I think we made it clear about Justin Fields last week, and I think that's playing out. We made it clear how we feel about Herbert in relation to his card prices. I'm not saying $11,000 I would drop it, but I think Brock Purdy's pretty, I actually think he's legit. He's a top 5 type guy in the league, like obviously Mahomes is up there. I mean, I'm just saying how I feel, I think he's great. So
I think what you're saying is that the Dolphins with Tua, that scheme, and McDaniels came from working with Shanahan for 10 years. So I think the 49ers, it's partly the scheme, and it's partly Tua and Purdy do have a lot of talent, but they're literally the exact same team on offense. The Miami might have more weapons because Hill, and then I'm blanking on the other receiver they have is really good too. Waddle is really good too. So and then they have Mostert, who was they have one of the old 49ers running backs. So they're almost the exact same team on offense. The 49ers have a tremendous defense too. So spoiler alert, it is 3-3 with Joe Montana, aka Brock Purdy.
Right here. Oh, he almost did. Oh, what a pass. I mean, that's just a great throw.
Diced one in it.
It's a great throw.
So we got tons to talk about. I don't know where we want to start.
Well, I tell you what, I am gainfully employed, and part of that gainful employment gives me access to the old Bloomberg terminal, which basically gives you the world's financial information at your fingertip if you know how to type in the codes. And so I had we were discussing Panini over on Twitter and stuff, and people continue to think this company is loaded financially. And my take on all of these baseball companies for over a decade, not just here, but on Twitter, consistently telling people these companies don't make nearly as much money as you think they do. These companies, these card companies, are more or less sponsoring the NFL. These companies are more or less a sponsor of the leagues that they make these cards. Do they squeak out a little bit of money to where an executive and some employees make some money? Yes, but there's very, very little profit left over at the end of the day. And according to the old Bloomberg terminal, which again, I trust far more than these Twitter guys that, will reference a $700 box being for sale that has 10 redemptions, and, that Panini had to fly all over the country to get the content in that. And they have to pay a 25% royalty off the top of every sale, let alone all the other expenses. Panini, over the past, what I have here, I can go back to 2011 in terms of their financial statements, but I have Panini from a net profit perspective. They lost money in 2018. They made money in 2019. They lost money in 2020. They lost money in 2021. In fact, the losses are accelerating. And they lost money in 2022. So that's it. So, and they have more debt than they have cash on hand. So, I mean, I don't know. They have about 9 million on cash, 9 million in cash on hand. I think, isn't there an owner of an auction house that's claimed he's had a 9-figure bank account? So does Ken Golden have more money in his bank account than the entire company of Panini? Honestly, I would put my bet on Ken Golden having more cash in his bank account than the entire Panini company. And that is backed up by the data that I'm seeing on the old Bloomberg terminal. And this is a company with more liabilities than it has assets. Its revenue growth is mediocre. And this is a company that is in deep financial problems. What was the settlement with Wildcard too? What was that?
25 million.
25
million.
Okay. This is a company that has lost money in 4 of the last 5 years, and their biggest profit did not even come close to exceeding $25 million. These companies, I think people have the misconception that these companies make a lot of cash and generate a lot of cash flow. The companies that generate lots of cash and cash flow and profits are like PSA, and that's about it. There's not a lot of other companies in this business that just print money. You know, Panini has to pay licenses off the top. They have to pay their employees. They have to pay for the content. They have to pay for the marketing, the shipping 4 or 5 different ways. They don't even make the cards. You know, they have to have customer service. This is not, these are not financially healthy companies. And what do we know about, Ryan, partnering with the NFL? What do we know about partnering with NFL? If you air the Super Bowl, Fox, CBS, NBC, do you think those companies make money? I know they charge $4 million for a 30-second spot, but would you guess that CBS just rakes it in on the Super Bowl, or do they lose money?
No, I mean, those why you're seeing some of these. That's why this game is on Amazon Prime right now, because Amazon can afford to basically blow their money on this game, however much they spend $1 billion a week on this game. And it doesn't matter, because you're going to order toilet paper from them and eye drops.
You have to have Amazon
food
Prime, which is $129, you know?
That
too. And you're absolutely right. There was a reason why the Sunday Ticket is now on YouTube, because Google makes money hand over, like there's a company that makes money hand over fist and has billions and billions of dollars sitting around. They can't do anything with. They literally can't do anything with. And so like that's who, and it's still a sponsorship. It's not like Amazon like airs this game tonight and is actually going to make a profit. This is more like, and same with Nike appearing on the football jerseys. It's not like when I open up Nike's financials, I see, oh, all this revenue from selling football jerseys. No, that money and that profit goes to the NFL, goes to the players. Remember, the men and women that own NFL teams, NBA teams, MLB teams, these are the best business people that we have in the United States. Okay, owning an NFL team is the equivalent to owning a yacht and a private jet, and maybe both. Okay, you don't get to that status by letting companies like Panini just make millions and billions of dollars off of your back. No, you squeeze their necks. And when you look at the financials of these companies, and look, I don't think anybody in this industry has followed these companies from a financial perspective closer than I have. I was the only one talking about Topps and their debt rating and following their debt rating on Moody's and bringing up these financial charts when I could get access to them. Now I have access to them 24 hours a day, 7 days a week if I want to. These are not companies that make large amounts of profits. These are sponsorships. These are endorsements that they have with the leagues. When you license with the league, when Nike puts their logo on the jersey, when Amazon airs the games on Thursday nights, that's an endorsement and a sponsorship to get your name and your logo on the NFL. It's not to make large amounts of profits. If you listen to the Nike conference call, they never, ever talk about how many jerseys sell. They always talk about how many Air Max and Jordans they sell. So, no surprise, again, to me. I know this is surprising to a lot of people, the community on Twitter, a lot of the breakers, that Firehand sports card guy, just for as long as he's been in the business, just doesn't seem like he really understands a whole lot at this point in his career. Panini doesn't make a lot of money. So when you lose the NFL license, that's probably not a good thing. When you lose the WWE license over what amounts to be about $5 million, seems like a problem, right? And then when you lose a judgment for $25 million, which exceeds the amount of cash, and I'm talking about the parent company of Panini here too. It exceeds the balance that the entire company has in their cash bank account. I mean, we're talking, if these figures are accurate, Ken Golden has way more money in his bank account than Panini does. Ken Golden could practically buy Panini based on what I'm seeing here. And then if the NBA is about to cut, and this is the rumor that it's not just a rumor. I have heard this from industry sources that the NBA is next, and they're going to be cutting Panini off any day now.
I mean, look at
that. That's not a good sign if you're Panini right there.
Look at that. Look. What do you think about? What do you think is about to happen?
Yeah. What's going
to
happen
Panini
now? What's the next
2 days? 2 days of meetings.
No.
There was an issue with some jerseys.
Like, no. To the on. Yeah. Click that one. Okay, that doesn't look good for Panini.
There's the card guy right there. There's the card CEO right there.
Doesn't look good for Panini to me.
Holy cow! There's more people.
Good. Also,
there's the top. Oh, there's David Liner. There's the tops guy right there.
Yep, that's not good.
Oh,
is that OBJ or who's that?
That's OBJ. Oh, that was the tops guy.
Pack Wars.
That's the trading card CEO right there.
Okay.
Pack Wars. Boy, this doesn't look good.
Okay. This doesn't look good when you have Pack Wars and then the first picture is Mr. Silver from the NBA. The NBA is next. And so, like, forgive me, guys. Forgive me for getting on Twitter. And people get upset with me when I say, hey, screenshot the redemptions that Panini owes to you. Maybe stop ordering from this company. Maybe if they owe you anything, maybe screenshot this. And people literally flip out and they say, no, Panini's got all this money. And then I pull up the Bloomberg terminal and I see an account balance that's got to be maybe half as much as what Ken Golden claims that he has. And then we've got Michael Rubin posting on his Instagram, buddy with Mr. Silver. Guys, if you're a content creator and you're not sounding the alarm, the 5-alarm fire right now, Panini just lost a judgment for $25 million, which again is well in excess of what this company has in profits, let alone cash. They just lost their WWE contract over what amounts to be maybe $5 million. It looks like they owed the WWE $5 million, or the WWE says they owe them $5 million. That's not good. And then obviously you lost the NFL, just got swooped out from under you. Now, we've seen this before. Again, most people have gotten back into this industry when Jeff Wilson told them to buy cards and Jeff Wilson got his second PPP loan. I get it. A lot of people have gotten back into this. We saw this happen to Upper Deck. Upper Deck was the premier card company, was probably as big or bigger than Panini, maybe not in terms of revenue and all that stuff. But look, from a market position, they were the Panini of its day, and that business almost got whacked. You and I were around when Donruss went bankrupt. You and I were around when Fleer had their complete debacle. You and I were around when Press Pass went bankrupt. You and I were here to see Crown Royale and Prism and Wildcard and ProSet and all of these companies come and go. In fact, when you look at the sports card industry, the vast majority of the companies have actually gone bankrupt. There's actually been more bankrupt sports card companies than there has been successful ones. And the reason for that is this is not a money printing profit game. You don't make, look at we talked about this on last week's show, right? The repack products, these guys have to rig the repack product. They're not paying a royalty. They don't have to go get the merchandise. They don't have to get these guys to sign. They don't have redemptions to fill. Like Backyard Breaks literally has to rig the repack product to make money. And people are out there thinking that Panini just prints money on these cards. Absolutely not. They don't own the printers. They don't actually make the cards. If you pull up a Bloomberg terminal, you will see this is a company that has less money in their bank account than Mr. Ken Golden, and they have not made a profit in 3 of the last 4 years. And the last couple of years, according to at least Brian Gray, they made money hand over fist, but that's someone's opinion on Twitter. When I pull up the actual financial sheets, it does not say that. And what we know about sports sponsorships and sports endorsements is it gets the leagues rich. Some of that is passed down to the players. but it's the vast majority of that money is made by the league owners. And those are the best and most savvy business people in the world, not just the United States. Can Sports Card Radio sponsor my Bloomberg terminal renewal fee? I'm personally not paying for the terminal, but I do have access to the terminal, Capital IQ, whatever you need financial wise. Hopefully my employer is not watching, but you can send me a DM if you need me to pull something up for you. I got no problem to do that. I also have people that will do it for me. So if I can't find it, we can send it off to the appropriate wing of the company, and we'll find it for you. So look, I don't want to bore people with financial talk, but this is something that I've devoted my life to and that I do get excited about. And these are not profitable ventures. And we saw this with Topps. I mean, Topps almost went public, and you looked at their financials. This was a company that was just marginally profitable during one of the greatest sports card booms of its time, and then had to sell itself for less money than what they sold itself for, 15 years prior. And this is not good, guys. And the reason why I'm going through this is not to flash my business acumen. I have platforms for that. This is not to make myself look smart or that I know all this stuff. I don't know. I'm doing this because I know a lot of people listening have redemption cards, have outstanding orders, have products that they may think about buying from Panini. My advice is whatever you can get for your outstanding redemptions, get it as fast as you possibly can. Anything you have from an outstanding order perspective. I mean, this is a company that just had its computer systems hacked too. Screenshot everything, document everything. Not that it will help you in any way when this company, I think, eventually goes under. I mean, I don't see another outcome here. When you lose the NFL license, use the WWE license, you're about to lose the NBA license. Like, how does this company fulfill the millions and millions of dollars in redemptions? Like Ryan, what would you guess if we were to put a number on the dollar amount of the outstanding redemptions that are out there? I mean, are we talking, how much do we think that is from a dollar amount?
I mean, it's into the probably tens of millions of dollars. I mean, from the dollar
tens of millions of dollars is more than what this company has on their in cash. They don't even have the money in their bank account to fulfill the redemptions. And now they just lost the NFL license. They just lost the WWE license. They're about to lose the NBA license.
UFC as well.
And people are telling me to slow down and, don't worry. No, I am very, very concerned. I am very concerned about the liabilities this company has with the community of card collectors out there. Some of you guys not only pulled these cards in packs, but some of you actually would have buy the redemption like on eBay because it's a card you wanted. It's a player you wanted. And so I was already concerned for those people that they would not get what they bought and not get what they promised. Now I'd be shocked. I'd be shocked if you get anything at this point. And that's why I'm telling you, I'm very concerned. Get what you can get from Panini. Because when you lose these licenses, and Ryan and I have seen this. We saw it with Donruss. We saw it with Fleer. We saw it with Upper Deck. We saw it with virtually every other company other than Topps. It's not good when this happens. It's really, really, really a bad situation. And I think people, and maybe forgivingly, I don't think people have ever seen this in the hobby. They haven't been around long enough to see one of these card companies. They kind of look at these card companies and they think, oh my God, such a big company. And within the industry, they're a big company. In the grand scheme of things, this is a fledgling business. $25 million lawsuit.
Well, yeah, if they were a public company, the stock would be down. People could actually see the disaster taking place. I mean, the value of these companies are in the licenses. And when you start losing them and then you're going to lose more of them, It wouldn't matter if they didn't owe people cards. Who cares? If they didn't owe people cards, it really wouldn't matter.
wouldn't
but the
care.
fact that they actually owe people cards. They actually owe people cards. So it's
and we're talking in millions and millions and millions of dollars of cards. You know, it's not like Press Pass, who I'm sure owed people some cards. We're talking about key cards in this hobby that people have been waiting years for, and people that have been really, really financially kind of, tied to. There's probably some people where their net worth, part of their net worth is tied up in redemptions sitting on a computer screen at Panini America. And this company is about to lose their ability to fulfill those redemptions, both from a license perspective, but probably more importantly, from a financial perspective. And so I'm incredibly concerned. And I don't care if you buy into a break and you buy cards. What does bother me is, what's the probability of you getting ripped off? Would I suggest you go buy into a backyard break repack product? Absolutely not. Would I suggest you buy a vintage card off of PWCC? Absolutely not. In the first case, the break is probably rigged. In the second case, the card is probably trimmed. And as it relates to Panini, I am not confident at all this company is going to be able to financially, meet its obligation to you. And I would be just very, very, very concerned. It's tough. No, Steven, they don't publish financials publicly, but they do. You can get them. They were about, what's his name? Alex Rodriguez was poking around. The fact that Panini couldn't go public via SPACs, literally their only job was to find a company and then let investors blow their money on it. That was the entire SPAC market. SPAC is literally you set up these acquisition companies. You got investors to pour money in there. Is basically a blank check company. And the only job is to go find a company to put into the organization. And so Topps tried to do that, and that went horribly bad. Panini tried, but for whatever reason, A-Rod kicked the tires. And so when the tires got kicked, that's when the financials became public. And also, Panini's more or less for sale now. And so, Panini's more or less for sale. If you make them the right offer, they would sell their company. And so they're putting their financials out there publicly in air quotes. Okay.
Well, look, we found out in one of the lawsuits that there were two sets of financials. False ones that they tried to use to drum up businesses, and then the real ones. That's why I asked Brian Gray yesterday. I was like, did you see the fake ones or the real financials? Because the real financials, especially what has happened in the last couple of months with them losing all these licenses, is really, really bad. So I don't care if they made a couple dollars during the pandemic. Guess where that went? To some guy's yacht in Italy, to some guy's house, to some guy's sugar baby in the Cayman Islands. That money's gone. Any money from the pandemic is gone. So yes, we should be concerned about what's going on. And if you are interested in this topic, more specifically about the WWE, some old school guys did a video, wrestling trading cards. They're on YouTube. And these guys, you're going to know one of these guys, Adam, Sports Card Uncensored is up here in the upper right-hand corner. He's been talking about cards and blogging about cards longer than we have. So they kind of go over a lot of the things and kind of the implications as far as it stands for wrestling. So that's wrestling trading cards on YouTube, if you guys want to check that out. But there are pending nightmares with Panini losing essentially all their business. We have some collectors noticing that they bought redemption cards. This is a 2022 redemption card for a Plaxico Burress. Speaking of the the New York Giants, Burress was a former great wide receiver for the Giants. Shot himself, I think, in the foot infamously one time, if I'm not mistaken. But collector bought a Plaxico Burress autograph, numbered to 75, 2022 Panini Elements Metal Moments. Well, guess where that card showed up? It's in 2023 Panini Plates and Patches boxes. And how do I know that? Well, if you look at the back of the card, it says 2022 Elements Football. So what happened is looked like Panini got these redemptions in, and then they just stuck them into a 2023 product. It's happened on other cards. Here's another Burris card. I don't know if this was a redemption, but this was meant for 2022 plates and patches, and it's in 2023. There's also a Ronnie Lott card, I noticed. Now, hey, that's not really a problem. Upper Deck does this in hockey. Other companies do this, and Panini does this too. But this Elements card, this Metal Moments card, this was a redemption. These were redemptions, and somehow they ended up in a box.
That makes me think, going real deep here is this makes me think that Panini doesn't even have an internal system to actually identify this. Like they are, and it wouldn't surprise me if literally the internal systems at Panini don't, unless you have an employee there that's really going to dig into it, they get these Plaxicos back. They literally don't have a system over at Panini to get them out to the redemptions first. Their first need to, or it's just complete greed. It's either stupidity that they don't have a computer system, or they they just don't have a system in place to get the redemption out. I can understand some of these making their way in plates and patches. The redemptions get expired, they never get pulled, etc., or whatever. Mm-hmm. But the fact that the guy didn't get his redemption before he saw it in another product, it's either stupidity on Panini or it's just complete greed. That they are so greedy and so much in need of money that instead of fulfilling the redemption, which they know they can push you guys off into infinity, like they know this, and there is, I'm telling you, there is no hope for you to get your stuff if we continue down this road with Panini. There is no incentive for them to hang around after all the licenses get swooped away from them. There is no incentive for this company to take care of their customers here in America. None. They'll literally just walk away, declare some kind of bankruptcy, and that's it. You're not going to get anything. And that is why we've been consistent on this show. Don't buy into breaks. If you get a redemption somehow, some way, sell it immediately. Don't let these card companies owe you anything. People will be on Ken Golden's site bidding on cards, and people are flipping out. Ryan, have we had any real significant issues getting anything that we've bought on this website? Have we had any problems?
Everything that I've sold, I've gotten paid for as well.
Yes. And so, look, is anybody perfect? No. But do we get our stuff and do we get paid? Yes. That is what happens. Okay.
Well, we'll talk about another situation here in a minute about, these guys over here on these, 8th tier sites that are trading $3,000 and not getting their cards. I mean, there are some risky people are way more risky and way more kind of frivolous with their money. They'll just send $3,000 to some random Facebook guy or random account on Instagram and expect to get a card. So I don't know. I don't do business like that. I would not do business like that with Panini. And we are worried about these redemptions because what would happen is, God, this would leave such a bad taste in people's mouth if Panini walked away from their obligations, or if they cashed you out at 10% of what they really owed you. This Plaxico Burris autograph, hey, it's not worth very much. I don't know what it's worth, probably $30 to $50. But what if they cashed you out a $5 card? And now, obviously, what if you had much more expensive cards? People are probably waiting on much more expensive cards. This is just one, example of something that's going on in the hobby. There's a lot of people who can tell a redemption nightmare. But if they don't cash you guys out, or if they cash you guys out at 10%, 20%, if they don't give you dollar for dollar or make people feel as whole as possible, that's going to leave a bad taste in people's mouth. I don't think if I was Fanatics, I would want that to happen. I think if I was Michael Rubin, if that happened, if Panini walked away from their redemptions, I would look for a way to make people whole. So hopefully this doesn't happen, but this doesn't look good that the alarm should be firing. And I can't believe there's people, Brian Gray's on Twitter being like, well, they were worth $3 billion a couple years ago and they're still worth $1 billion. And I'm thinking to myself, Well, Brian, why don't you check back in with me in 6 months when Adam Silver kicks them to the curve, and then they're worth they're worth half a billion? Are they worth 200 million? So they went from 3 billion to 500 million, like what Top sold for, and we're supposed to golf clap for that?
And yeah, does that get anybody their cards? Your valuation goes from 3 billion down to $1 billion. Does that get anybody their cards and their redemptions? Especially when the licenses are being pulled.
What's to stop it from going to zero? Literally a lifeline. Who's the only
what's
company
the
that could buy it?
Well, yeah, and what's his incentive to buy it at this point? I think somebody said,
None.
you know, somebody come in and buy this company. Why would you buy this company? They have no football license. They have lawsuits pending for $25 million judgments. They have WWE yanking their license. They have the NBA, the commissioner of the NBA, the most important person that represents all of the owners and somewhat represents players, meeting with Michael Rubin, with all the card people in attendance. This is bad news. Why would you buy this company? You know what I mean? Like, why would you even step in at this point to do what? You know, all of a sudden, you know, it's very much like the online poker
there's
sites.
There's one buyer, and he's sitting, and he's right here.
He
in this
knows
picture.
it.
And if he doesn't buy it, it goes to zero. If he doesn't buy it, it goes to zero. So what's his incentive?
No, I don't think Upper Deck buys Panini. They don't have the money. I mean, if we you know, if Panini has barely Ken Golden money in their bank account, Upper Deck has even less. I might have more money in my bank account than Upper Deck. I think people really overestimate how financially healthy. Like, if you go and look at these employees, guys, like these are not like really, really strapped up employees that have.
That was in the lawsuit. That's in the lawsuit. How the ownership at Panini are cheapskates and they weren't paying employees. Guys, go read the lawsuits. They don't paint a rosy picture.
Yeah, it's not good. It's not good. And we'll be here sounding the alarm bells. We're not trying to do this to gain anything other than I want people to be aware that we've seen this before. It's not like we're making something up here. We saw this with Upper Deck. We saw this with Fleer. We saw this with Donruss. We saw this with Press Pass. We saw this with Scoreboard. We saw this with Force Sport. We saw it with Pro Set. We've seen this with Score. We've seen this with Leaf. We've seen this with Crown Royale. We've seen this with Prism, which I think was its own brand. Like every brand other than Topps has been on their last dollar. Upper Deck didn't technically go bankrupt, but came very, 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 very close. They had issues with the IRS. They owed the IRS money. They got all their licenses yanked away. And we're in a very similar position that Panini finds itself in now. It would be a miracle, I think, for Panini to hang around and do anything in this hobby over the next 36 months. Just a miracle. Pinnacle, Parkhurst. And this is surprising to some people. Some people are like, oh, you know, these are big companies. And I tell them to name 5 sports card brands that didn't go bankrupt. And you can't name them. And we're talking about from the beginning of time. There are simply not very many sports card companies that have survived. They've all gone through financial problems and bankruptcies and issues. The exact same thing that Panini is going through today. The exact same thing. Their licenses being taken away, them having lawsuits, them basically just kind of fledgling and not looking good, not looking very well managed. So it's very, very, very concerning to us. And we are very concerned.
Yeah, I mean, the value of this company drops and drops by the day. So, and if they still owe people cards, I think they're going to cash you guys out at 20-30%, and then maybe you get something from Michael Rubin if he feels bad for you. So that would be a bad spot to be in if you had any amount of redemptions from this company. So yeah, I'd be very careful about buying in a new product that had redemptions. I obviously probably wouldn't be buying any redemptions, because what they'll do is they'll just shove them in a new product. I mean, this is either, like you said, this situation here with this Plaxico Burris It's either Panini being stupid or they're scamming you. It's one of the two. And like you said, they don't have the proper internal systems within this company. So when they get something back from Plaxico Burress a year late to know where it's supposed to go, we know this. Why? Because we've heard from former employees that say their system's outdated. And what did we know happened to their systems? What was it, about 3 or 4 months ago? They got broken into and destroyed. So who knows how those have been rectified? So this Plaxico Burress could have come in and they could have, oh, well, let's just shove them in plates and patches like they did this other Burress card. There were some Burress cards that look like, oh yeah, they were meant to go into a new product. But this particular one was probably not, if they issued redemptions. Several have been pulled so far. This wasn't the only one that's been pulled. Several of these Burress cards have been pulled. So some concerning things going on in the sport. Those articles got like 1/100th the traffic as the next one we're going to talk to before I check in on. Like I said, I think that's a fake patch. Or we got to ask Ty and Rick, but it wouldn't shock me if that's a fake patch. We're high bid on Eminem because he's not in my top. He's not in my top 5, but I know he's very culturally and musically significant. The altered Babe Ruth's at 2,000. The PSA 1's at 21.
Okay.
See, I mean,
it's got some gum stains.
These are worth 2,800 on Card Ladder. Yeah, it's like tape.
Okay,
they taped it into like an album. We have Joe at 28. My box is holding steady at $88 that I paid 19 for. I'm high bid on this just because I think, I don't know, it's a rookie. It's fucking hard. High bid on Kareem. 14,600. This is serial number to 2.
Whoa.
Spoiler alert. It is 10-3 49ers in the late in the second quarter. And this is a sticker auto, or this would be worth way more, but it is number to 10 and it's an 8. So the price wouldn't get out of control. So we have that up just in case. But speaking of transactions, oh my God, the ads are out of control.
It's great.
I love it. So somebody bought a $3,000 Tamar Johnson. Hold on. I'm sorry.
Who the hell is that?
I remember that's why this is the only reason why I wrote the article, is because I was like,
oh my God.
He's 19. Okay, so he's 19. Good Lord. You guys and your little teenagers, you buy cards.
5'8". Jesus.
4th overall pick.
5'8". Okay.
5'8". He has played a little bit. Let's look at the numbers.
They look good.
And they're okay. They're okay. 244, 120. You've struck out 120 times in 340 at bats. The walk numbers aren't bad. It's weird that he strikes out and walks so much. 18 home runs in 105 games. 5'8", Tamar Johnson. Hey, Pittsburgh Pirates. Boy, there's a franchise.
How many Hall of Famers are 5'8"? Batters. Like not many, I bet.
I don't know. So now that we have that context, this must not be an orange. Oh, my bad. I thought he was a football player. That's why I called it orange, because it says in this Discord thing, it says orange. I bought a $3,300 orange tomorrow because I thought he was a football player. So I said, oh, it must be an orange prism. No, that's an orange refractor. So that's my bad. I'll go back and change that. 3,300 was the price for the card. But what happened was the seller, his name is Stack of Slabs on Instagram. Let's see if we can pull him up. So this guy sold the card. Now the buyer of the card is claiming that they received an empty envelope.
Okay. So he bought the $3,000 Tamar. He bought it off
RyanssCardsLLC Discord. on Ryan's
Okay.
Cards Discord.
So he's on some guy's Discord. He
Just
buys
paid Discord.
a
Three-
19-year-old
$3,300 card.
midgetly, like vertically challenged baseball player that's 19, and then pays $3,300 for it, and then bought it off Stack of Slabs, and then allegedly
Correct.
Stack of Slabs sent him something, but the envelope came back empty.
Correct.
So he either sent him an empty
Correct.
envelope or the card somehow disappeared.
Okay, so that's where we're at. And then they were talking on Discord, I guess. And then Stack of Slabs was supposed to send like, $3,000 worth of stuff or whatever to make up for it. But then he never did. And then he dipped out of the Discord. So now the person's out the 3,000. Maybe they were able to rectify it through however they paid, but it didn't seem like it. So then Stack of Slabs took to Instagram yesterday. And he says, for the record, Ryan's Cards, this is the Discord where it took place, sold someone that works for me a card for over $1,000 with a mashed in corner last week. He told me there was 0 issues. Am I mad? Yeah, but I obviously haven't posted about it yet because it's not worth my time. But here we are. So we've got people spending $3,000 on 19-year-old baseball players. They are now very concerned about a mashed corner on a $1,000 card. We don't know. Maybe that's a 20-year-old for that card. And so that's kind of where we were. He didn't refund him the money? Did Stack of Slabs just kind of dip? And so then I wanted to reach out to Ryan's Card LLC because now we can ask him about this situation. Hey, what happened with the Tamar? And then we could say, well, what happened also with, I guess, this $1,000 card with a mashed corner? What was that? But I am blocked by this dude on Twitter. And I thought, or at least the person who writing the article, I thought it would be good for them to just add context. Why are we blocked by Ryan's Cards, you say? Well, we called him out for his comment on Twitter where he was using the N-word. I mean, we get accused every other day of being racist. So I figured, we'd actually show somebody actually maybe being racist over here. So I think we called him out for this and then he blocked us. And so I couldn't reach out to him. Now, I don't know this guy. Wouldn't literally, even though I'm looking at his face, wouldn't recognize him if he passed me on the street. Wouldn't know, wouldn't care. But it is an interesting situation. Literally more people are going to come to this article today than to watch this live stream. More people will come to this article today than will watch our next video that we'll post on Sports Card Radio. So I need to be writing way more articles on whatever this Discord is, on these low-level scams. And this guy's got 5,000 followers on Instagram. I don't know if that's a lot or not. I don't know if this guy's big time or not. He's on Whatnot, I guess.
He's streaming and he has the card.
1,000 items sold on Whatnot. That's probably kind of in the lower range, but it's still something. 120 reviews. So I don't know. I was trying to find out what happened, but then I'm obviously blocked by this guy and then this guy and then boy, people send me all kinds of stuff. I mean, we could do a whole video on this guy. I'm not going to.
I would put it up on the website.
Exactly. I'm going to put it on the website.
Okay.
We'll do part 2 and we will
a follow up.
He's a very polarizing individual. Didn't you say that he pays people to be in his Discord? Is that the deal?
Yeah, it sounds like he has a referral program. So if you refer somebody, I don't know if it's refer somebody to his Discord or if he has like a Patreon. Maybe it costs money to join his Discord. I don't know. I'm not I was just on Rattle Pokemon's Discord today, and so so he has a referral program. So it doesn't surprise me people carry his jockstrap because he's more or less paying you to be his friend. And so that I think impacted the traffic to the website. And this is exactly why we put this stuff up. I mean, it kind of Jab's family's kind of the same guy. You put something up about him and you got, because there's nobody writing this type of content. You know what I mean? There's nobody in the hobby putting up this type of content. No. It's I mean, barely anybody's talking about the Panini situation. Like literally, companies have to hand bloggers, and I know websites are kind of like whatever these days. Most people are just posting on Twitter or Instagram or whatever. But like the companies literally have to give you the sell sheet for you to have an opinion about a product or even talk about it. Like if you haven't gotten the checklist or the sell sheet, like guys literally act like the product doesn't exist. And so, our website does, look, if you want to stand out, you've got to talk about things that most people, does SCR need a Discord? We've been invited to join the Rattle Pokemon one. So we're kind of taking just like LeBron took his talents to South Beach, we're taking our talents on Discord with Rattle Pokemon, who I think already has a community built up there. He's said, look, I don't know how Discord works that much. I've only used like Midjourney and, there was something else. Oh, a financial one that I had. But
I use it all the time.
Really. Yeah, maybe I'll send you the link, Tim, and then maybe we'll get you kind of started for us and just kind of tell us what we need to be doing over there. But he set up some threads on there where our videos get posted and stuff like that. And once we kind of get that squared away, we'll invite our community over there. I don't think it costs any money. I'm not going to charge money for it. And I think if you post eBay links, Rattle Pokemon can make some money on that. So I don't mind. So
go post some. Yeah, go post some eBay links.
Yeah, click on some eBay links and buy something. Support our man. Maybe Amazon too. I don't know. We'll have to see. But and I'm totally good with that. Ryan and I have made our money on the eBay Partner Network.
Oh, I've made pretty good money today on this stupid article right here that I didn't even write. I didn't even write it. So.
Sure. Yeah, and I think she had ChatGPT do a lot of the heavy lifting, so it's nobody's doing a lot of writing over here at Sports Card Radio. So, yeah,
you wouldn't want to start your own though.
Not really. Not
because that's my specialty.
We're so far. I don't know. You have to talk to Ryan. Like I don't make money on this YouTube channel. I don't make money on the website. I don't. I'm so far removed from making money that way that it wouldn't. I mean, I got 2 kids over here that got to eat, so I got to make the big dollars. So if it doesn't move the needle in that sense, if it doesn't move the second hand on a Rolex, I'm not really excited about it, I guess is how I would.
It has power. Yeah, I will say it has a lot of power. I've made a lot of money.
I think it'd be cool for the community. I think that'd be the only thing. I would not be interested in trying to make money or trying to, and I mean, we have an audience and we have ways for people to hear us. So I'm not, I guess I'm maybe not the one to speak on it, but I have little interest these days in doing much with Sports Card Radio other than the once a week thing that we do here. Cool. And then getting back at the trolls. I was on the trolls on Twitter today. I spent 30 minutes outside getting back to everybody. Yeah.
Well, Discord certainly has somewhere this article is being posted and being consumed. Right. And I mean, because it blows me away. So we're going to be pumping out the jams over here on Sports Card Radio. Certainly not opposed to our own Discord, because maybe it'd be a way to where I can shove more links down people's throats and they can come to our website. By the way, guys, click on Mama Breaks and download that Fanatics Live app, ladies and gentlemen. I'll be pumping that. I think Webb and Yama is going to be on this thing either tomorrow or the next day. I'm going to create an ad for him. So we're just going to be pumping out the jams over here on Sports Card Radio. That's what we love to do. You know who we need to talk about? I've been waiting to talk about this guy. I've been doing research because there's very few people that we get mentioned more. Like 5 minutes. Here we go. He's live in 5 minutes. Good. We'll watch that.
Yeah.
Everybody always wants me to talk about Jab's family. Or he did this, he did that, he did blah, blah, blah. Honestly, didn't really know much about him. Hadn't really watched any of his videos. So I decided to do the appropriate thing and sign up for the Jabs Family Patreon, which is like, he has multiple levels of this. He has multiple levels of the Patreon subscription.
His grift or his Patreon? Which one did you sign up for?
Easy on my boy now. I signed up for the lowest one, the $5 one. And my take on this guy is, one, he's not a scammer. We do have an article on our website, and I think it actually describes him very well. He's just kind of weird. Now, if you do go back a number of years, he got kicked off eBay because he didn't ship a bunch of stuff. But this appears to be kind of a one-off thing. And now I'm in his Patreon, and so I get to see all the private messages that you can't see unless you're in his Patreon. And I think he's just kind of slow. He's probably not as organized as some of the bigger breakers out there, but I think sometimes he's maybe just a little slow shipping stuff out. But he's, in my opinion, he's not a scammer. He's just a group breaker, in my opinion, that just has a different way of selling stuff. You know, he's breaking Bowman Chrome over here, Cosmic Chrome, live breaks, Taco Fractor Tuesday, whatever his Saturday thing is. He's just a group breaker with just, in my opinion, just a slightly different style. I saw no evidence of people getting scammed or ripped off or him dipping cards. If it was, I don't think it was him being shady. I just think it was him being kind of, like I said, a little Midwesterny, a little like whatever, a little unorganized maybe at sometimes. I think this one-off thing with his eBay, look, we could attribute it to the famous thing that happened. He was opening cards on camera and he talked about how his wife left him. Now, hey, advice to all the people out there in the world, and especially Ryan's Cards LLC and some of these people that are on our radar. If you don't want us talking about your personal life, don't ever bring it up. So this is in his Patreon. And I think this is not funny that his wife left him, but it is a little comical that he says, my wife doesn't drive, so a million bad things ran through my head. Then I checked my email. My wife left and we are getting a divorce. So his wife, you know, a lot of ways to break up with people, but he literally got dumped by his wife in an email. And again, that's not me fucking bringing it up. That's him bringing it up. Now, this shit with why I bring that up is because I think this shit with the eBay happened right around the time with the wife. And this is several years ago. This is going back 3 or 4 years ago now. So as far as Jabs Family goes, in my opinion, he's not a scammer. I've watched his videos. I've literally paid this guy money now. I'm a part of his Patreon. If you like his breaks, you like his breaks. If you like his style, you like his style. If not, I honestly think he's just another one of these, you know, one of these thousands of people you see on Whatnot, on these group break sites. He's just another group breaker. These are all spots that he sold. These cards aren't his. Look, he's spots left, sold out, sold out, sold out. He's just a group breaker, and he just organizes it in a little different way. I think people probably don't like the Patreon grift, but I don't have a problem with him. And if he wanted to come on and talk about, you know, if he's recovered from the situation with the wife and the dog, I'd absolutely freaking welcome it, because I just think, and weird, people might think weird is like a negative term. I would not look at it as that way. He's just kind of a little quirky and different, in my opinion. What do you think of Jabs Family?
I don't know much about Jabs Family, just from what we've posted on our own website, just from what we anecdotally hear from other people. I can't admit to ever watching any one of his streams. I can't admit to knowing much about him other than what other people have said. Like I think you did put it right. And look, a lot of people, I think you could throw us in this bunch too. It's like just people in this hobby can kind of be a little weird, a little quirky, and that's probably where it is. Would I put my family's, business out there on social media and stuff? Probably not. And I think that probably contributes to some of the shots that we've taken at them and other people. But there it is. I mean, I don't know if I'd want him on the show. I don't know if I'd pay for his Patreon, but it is what it is at this point. I don't know. Most of these breakers, I don't trust them. I would not support what they do. I would only buy into a break if it was, truly an on sale spot. And it was kind of just I bought into break. I think watched the breaks on Twitter or whatever. He did some breaks. He was helping someone, I think, launch a website. And so I got on there and bought some stuff just because it was like, well, this is a guy I know. He ended up sending me a t-shirt. So I would do it that way, but Jabs is not a guy I feel like supporting. Jabs is not a guy I feel like doing that with. And so, props to you though for joining his Patreon and getting the goods on Mr. Jabs.
Doing some
family.
research, doing some research.
Right.
What I learned about Ryan's Cards LLC or whatever this fucking dork's name over here. I mean, my God, I should do a video on this guy. I'm not going to because it's not worth my time. Like I said, I'd get more clicks on an article than a video. So I'm going to probably write an article about it. This dude is interesting. This dude, I'm sure. Yeah. There's going to be more articles and more stuff about him. Cause it's kind of weird. Some of the shit that people were sending me today, way more weird than anything going on with Jabs family. But if people can send me, people always say, oh, you got to watch Jabs family. Send me exactly where he scammed people. Hey, I get it that this stuff happened with the eBay stuff. I got that, guys. I got it. It's on my website. Got it. Lots of people come to this every day. How many comments does this have? 29 comments. It's impossible to get people to comment on your website. So did 29 people, including Jabs family himself, has commented on this? It's worth it just to read that. And people, I told him to go find your dog, scrub. What sort of moron wrote this hit piece? Praise God that you were never a student of mine, for you would have repeated my class numerous times. And I told him, go find your dog, scrub. This was back in September 2022 that he wrote this. So Jabs family is certainly no fan of ours. But again, I try to be fair to people. I signed up for his fucking Patreon. I know about this shit right here, but somebody send me something recently where he scammed somebody. Like where he fucking scammed somebody, and I will take a look at it. I'll post it on his Patreon, and I'll get him to answer it himself. Show me where he has scammed somebody. Because I go through the post in his Patreon. People aren't being scammed by this guy. So just trying to be fair to these people. We've talked about him. We've written about him. Okay, cool. I want to watch. I'll go sign up for his shit. And I wouldn't buy into this stuff. I wouldn't trust him. But boy, there are far worse people in this hobby. And I think Ryan's Cards is actually one of them. This is the guy you got to worry about.
I really don't think that's a good standard to have, though. It's like, this piece of poop stinks less than this other piece of poop. I mean, that's basically what we're saying when we compare Jabs family to Ryan's Cards LLC.
We are talking about the card world here. I mean, we're not talking about Boy Scouts.
We're not talking about the best and the brightest, believe me.
Right. And we are just still trying to be honest. We're trying to be honest. I'm not going to come on here and roast a guy just to roast a guy. It's not worth it to me. But like I said, if anybody
sounds like you have a soft spot for Jabs now. Like all of a sudden you have a soft spot for Jabs. What
There's
happened?
no evidence. There's no evidence post the bullshit that happened on eBay of him scamming anybody. Period.
Okay.
So what is okay? He's weird. He's stupid. Like, okay. I get emails every day about this motherfucker.
That means you need to sign up for his Patreon.
I wanted to see what he was all about. And you can't
Okay.
see the messages in Patreon. I wanted to see where people kept saying, hey, in Patreon, they keep saying he's been scammed. You're being scammed. All the people are complaining. And I go there and there are no complaints. I just think people are either jealous of him or don't like him. My opinion. I'm trying to say something nice about one of these motherfuckers. God damn.
I mean,
Said he lost 25. He said he lost 25 pounds during the month of
love
November.
to lose 25 pounds.
Most of it likely in the form of water weight for all the tears that I shed. I mean, the sob story is just.
I think people that put the stuff about themselves, they're just like attention like they need the attention. They need people to feel so. They're like, there's a lot of people in society that want to be a victim and want people, they want to, they want to paint their hair pink and go in the men's bathroom one day and the women's bathroom in the other day. And they kind of paint themselves in this, sympathetic, victim light. And it's just like, dude, your problems aren't any more unique than anybody else. And
this dude
need to sit here and cry about it.
Preview. This dude literally like faked that he was going to commit suicide to get cards. So, I mean, we're talking about some weirdo fucking class A weirdos in this industry.
Yeah. Yeah.
We had
Geoff Wilson. Where's the email? Do you have the Geoff Wilson? Okay.
I got it. Hold on. I'm fucking trying to spend some money.
Yeah. I'm
trying to add to Ken's bank account.
I think that first class was 1,600. So anything in that range.
I'm trying to fucking buy something.
Yeah, there you go. I think the Kobe, for me, it's the Kobe. We already have some Kobe's. I'd really like that because I'd like to put that in a frame.
We're going to
have to spend maybe like $400 on a frame, but I would buy that.
I swear I want the altered one more than the fucking PSA one.
No,
you know what's you know why you could buy this is then somebody will just crack it out and then resubmit it and then they'll get it into the one.
Yeah, maybe.
That's why that has value. I don't want to play that game, but it does look nicer. We heard from the legend himself. Or actually, this was a couple weeks ago. Speaking of something I've been getting constant emails about. So this happened on September 11th. I get a number of messages from supposedly this Geoff Wilson. And right away, I know it's fake, but I promise you, if you click on this profile, he's got it all copied. He literally fucking somebody faked Geoff Wilson's profile, started sending messages. This is on Facebook. And basically was trying to solicit business. And then if you clicked on this to see if it was like, oh, is this a fake Geoff Wilson? I swear to God, he like copied Geoff Wilson's pictures, copied all his bullshit. So I reported it back whenever this happened. But then what also happened is there are people going into these Facebook groups, and look what this says. If you are looking to earn a passive income in sports card investments and crypto trading without any knowledge, then I advise you contact Geoff Wilson via Facebook. His recommendations has been awesome. My portfolio dash collections has grown in worth so rapidly over a short period of time. So you can tell somebody in the Philippines or like China wrote this. But again, this is fake. This leads to a fake Geoff Wilson. This should be reported. If anybody from I have a wide reach on our website. We have less reach over here. But if you see this message, if you're getting these weird messages from a fake Geoff Wilson, report it. It's first of all, this is illegal. And just not, this is not a cool thing to do. We're not huge fans of Geoff Wilson, but this is not a cool thing to do. And the thing is that there have been like 4 or 5 people who have emailed me this, but, oh, did you see Geoff? He's over here talking about crypto. And I have to explain to these people, hey, it's a fake account. You might even want to go block it or report it or something. So it's just not a cool thing to do. And our boy Geoff Geoff, you got to calm down a little bit. I had you covered, boy. I had you covered there, Geoff. I was actually trying to help you out by raising this issue because I think actually quite a few people, I think if you're on Facebook, I don't know if it's happening on Instagram too, but if you're in Facebook, you've seen this. Like you've seen the fake Geoff Wilson shit. Geoff Wilson. And I had to make sure this was the real Geoff. I had to make sure this was the real Geoff too. I was like, am I getting fucking trolled over here on the email now? He sent this. It looks like yesterday. My team alerted me. God, Geoff's got a team over there. I've got like fucking one girl who'll fucking, if I send her some links, she'll fucking throw together an article, probably using fucking ChatGPT, like you said. Geoff's got a whole team who said he alerted me to your YouTube thumbnail, which appears to contain a message about me organizing a card show. If that's an actual message you received, it isn't from me. Unfortunately, someone has been setting up fake Facebook and Instagram profiles using my name and photo and messaging lots of different people in the hobby. I've reported them to Facebook and Instagram, but new accounts keep popping up. I am not organizing a card show, Geoff. So I was going to actually raise this, even if Geoff emailed us or not, because I'm like, that's kind of fucked up. But I kind of want to, now that we know this is a fake account, but I kind of want a hard pivot. Maybe Geoff should set up a fucking card show. Like maybe this is actually a good idea. Instead of the millions that he spent on cards that are now worth 80% less, he should have took some of the $2 million PPP loans and maybe some of his 22 employees and actually set up a card show. So what do you think about this stuff with our boy, Jeffrey Wilson?
I think the young lady in the green jacket on the halftime show is doing a great job. Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's obvious to me. And look, I have oh my God, I have Instagram accounts and, interestingly enough, the Sports Card Radio one doesn't get imitated, but my finance one and my YouTube one, it's literally a daily thing. Somebody is setting up one of those and then contacting people. Happens on Twitter a lot. Happens a lot. And so it's something that happens and you just have to trust that your audience doesn't believe it. And look, like, I don't understand, like the crypto stuff by now, it's like, it's like a Zimbabwe prince asking you for money. At this point, you should see a post like this and it should be, even if it really is Geoff, you should be like, wow, this guy's completely lost it. And it's okay. Like Geoff setting up a card show, like, what are you going to do? Show up, and then he's not going to be there. And that's going to be the worst thing that's happened. Like, I don't know. I think Geoff could set up his own card show. I think it probably would have been a better investment than probably the Market Movers app and probably a lot of other things that he's done.
Oh, yeah.
But, Dan the Card Man wants to know who's better at investing, the fake Geoff or the real Geoff. So it could be that maybe you get crypto advice from the fake Geoff. It might end up being better than the real Geoff. That's possible. That instead of buying,
that's the thing. He is telling you to buy now when the market is much less, whereas Geoff was telling you to buy at the literal absolute peak of the market.
That's true.
And telling you it was going to keep going up. I mean, that's on video.
Yeah. I mean, like if you're going to make an argument for NFTs and crypto, like now to me is more coherent than it was in 2021 when everybody was buying that crap. So, I mean, I don't know. I think, you just have to trust your audience at this stage. If somebody gets scammed, I actually think the liability is more on Instagram and Facebook at this point. I know it's a bad look for you and you feel bad when somebody imitates your account and asks for money. People do it all the time for my finance stuff. But at this point, it's like, guys, I'll literally report this stuff on Instagram and I'll literally get a message back from Instagram saying, oh, we can't do anything. Like literally like an account that's pure and utter fraud. You literally will report it and Instagram will write you back and say, sorry, we can't do anything about it. So it's like, at this point, I'm like, oh, fuck it. If they're not going to do anything about it, why am I going to waste my time? And look, if you get scammed by it, sorry, Instagram and Facebook don't want to do anything about it. That's, and that's why people are on there doing shit because they literally don't want to do anything about it. So, yeah, I mean, it was this the second or third time Geoff's contacted us outside of the lawsuit. So
The first one was Dale Ball.
that's right.
Remember the Dale Ball? And yeah, we got
I
cooked
do
for
remember
that.
Dale Ball.
We literally
We got
called
cooked
out a
for Dale
fucking scammer, and everybody, oh, you're just fucking being. It's like, God damn, guys. Fuck us.
Those are the
dude.
same people that think Panini America has millions and billions of dollars in the
Yeah.
bank account.
Everything's fine. They've lost all these licenses, but everything's fine.
Yeah, and nothing at all shady is going on at Backyard Breaks. The same people that get mad at us calling out a scammer will thinks Panini has $10 billion and is going to rival Apple here pretty soon in terms of market cap. It's the same person.
So look, I didn't have a whole lot. The only other thing that I noticed, where the hell is it? Oh, this person bought into a break on this person called Binky Breaks, but that actually is the famous Bleacher Breaks that we've talked about on here. They've dipped a card. So this is just another one of their accounts. So he got into a break or whatever it was, got this Mike Vick, must have been like a repack, got this Mike Vick, but then he never got it. And so he waited like a month.
$30 card.
No. This is probably like 300.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Why?
It's fucking National Treasures of 25 on card. Regular Vic autograph, yeah, like $50, but no, that's worth more than that. So here it is right here. Oh, well, you're right. It's more like, yeah, $150,
$100,
something like that.
Mm.
Yeah. 150 probably. 120.
So these guys are dipping $100.
I'd pay 125 for that. So it ended up on eBay. So he bought it into a break, contacted them. They eventually blocked him, and then it ended up on eBay. It's just something to be aware of.
I think just there's a lot of people in this hobby that don't like their money. They're buying into repack products. They're buying from breakers that are known scammers. They're buying from Panini as the ship is sinking. I just care way more about my money than maybe most people do in this hobby. Like I just would
you have people over here on a Discord spending $3,000 on a 19-year-old's card. Literally.
19-year-old that's 5'9". Oh, not even that. Was he 5'8"? And that's what they list him at. That's what he lists him at. Like my son is 6 and he might be 5'8".
Altuve is like the one small player who.
Cool. How many years has baseball been around? 1 million years, and we have one guy under 5'8" that had to get the pitches.
Well, there's probably Joe Morgan was short. Joe Morgan wasn't very tall.
All right.
Hank Aaron wasn't very tall. I met Hank Aaron. Hank Aaron was no taller than me.
Old now, so I'm sure he's like, you start to shrink a little bit. So I don't know.
I met him.
Joe Morgan and Altuve. Okay, so Joe Morgan and Altuve cards. Like how great of a buy are those at 33? You spending 3,300 on Altuve and fucking.
Oh, I'm not.
Joe Morgan.
I'm definitely not trying to justify the purchase. It's more just to point out the weirdness of this hobby. I love how we get clowned about buying on a site that probably the total valuation of PSA and Golden combined is probably what, $2 billion, $3 billion. And these guys are over here on a fucking Discord spending 3 racks.
That you have to pay to be on that Discord.
Yeah, you think if I bought one of these cards for $3,000 that fucking if I got scammed, I wouldn't fucking have some recourse.
We bought cards over there for like 6,000.
Guys, by the way, Mama Breaks is breaking on the Fanatics Live app. And if you head over to Sports Card Radio on any page that you click on, that ad will take you to the Fanatics Live. And all you have to do is download that. And I will get $7 in my pocket. Colin will get none. And apparently Tim will get none either, because that's just the way right now we have this set up. God. Oh, spoiler alert. Third quarter about to start. 17-6 Santa Clara over East Rutherford, New Jersey.
I tell you what, let's roll through questions. I do have some work to do. tonight.
Okay,
and
good. I want to buy cards.
$0 for Tim. Sorry, Tim. Just watch you Tim, you and I, just so you're aware, you and I make the same amount of money doing these. So we're on equal footing. Patches O'Hulian just watched someone make 100 McDonald's cheeseburgers in 20 minutes. Wow. No wonder they're going to start paying these people $20 an hour out here in California. Saw that Mr. Newsom signed that into law. Yeah, that's great. Jay Cyrus with the $2. Thank you, sir, very much. $2 coming into the door. DWH, Primetime 3.0. What's going on with that PPP? Primetime. Could have Dion on the show. That'd be great. Do I get a cut of these ads? Tim's wondering. Sure. Cut you in.
I'm turning them down tomorrow.
You get my cut. You get my cut of $0. Patches O'Hulian. Tim needs to unionize and get it. Yeah. So next week we'll have the negotiations live here on the air. Tim will have his union rep.
Look at these ads.
I'll be the arbiter since I'm kind of neutral in this. Insider trading. Those Panini employees then went to Fanatics, told the dirt to have everyone dropped. Yeah, there's so much shady stuff going on. Like the employees over at Panini are leaving. And there's literally people on Twitter that defend this company, and the employees of the company are trying to leave. The CEO of Panini America was back talking Panini in one way, and it was just, God, the people at that company are a disaster. Baboozle LLC plans hostile takeover for Sports Card Radio. Okay. We could have some drama next week.
Let's do it.
Some ownership drama. We could have our own Jabs family drama. Bloomberg Terminal is only for the top 1%. You must have a good job. I work for a public company now, so you gotta watch what I say on here, maybe. But yeah, I have a great job. Ryan was there. He saw some of the people that I work with. It took a great job to get me to start working because I was living a pretty fine lifestyle already. So yeah, it's good. So Bloomberg Terminal, like the McDonald's drive-through terminal, my wife wants to know. I guess. I'd love the McDonald's. I'd love one of those frozen Cokes right now. There's some things I eat at McDonald's. The French fries are good. Tampa Home Investors LLC, only $9 million for a company that big with a long history. That's honestly shocking. Yeah, it's telling you. Look at these financials. I'll post them. Maybe we'll do an article on it or whatever. I'll send the screenshots to Ryan.
Yeah,
and his Liz. You can have ChatGPT write up the article. I'll send those over. It's bad, guys. It's bad. The company does not make a lot of money. Jonathan Clark, $5. Thank you, sir, Jonathan. Really appreciate that. Nick is always very loyal with the $1.99. Panini should have hired 352 Marketing. Yes, 352 Marketing is Jeff's marketing firm. Nick, I totally agree. Things would be a lot different if Jeff Wilson was marketing for Panini. Completely different. They'd have those investments and collections really doing well. Elong 87 with the $6.99 Canadian. As Grizzly Vets of the Hobby, has there been another notable but smaller boom in the hobby besides 2020 and the early 90s? I would say you had athlete-driven booms, but they didn't always translate in the product moving. Like you had Otani, I think you had LeBron, you had Ichiro. You had these moments where these athletes would come along where you had frenzy around an athlete. And there was more than that. Just off the top of my head, I remember like Ichiro. I remember LeBron, obviously, and Otani. You just have these stories and these special moments that come along and people get really excited about. And so, yeah, I would say there's been many smaller booms, but obviously the most notable one. And look, 2020 was like an everything boom. Like my used car went up in value. Like I literally sold a car for $9,000 more than I owed on a lease. That I've never seen that. People are asking me, why are you selling your car? And it's like, I've never leased a car and then been able to sell it for $9,000 more than what I owed on it. So 2020 was just a wild time. Like you had like lumber, like tripled it, like tripled in value. I remember there was guys on Twitter with like baggies of sawdust and they're like, here's my retirement right here. You know what I mean? Like 2020 was weird. I don't even think
I was literally selling garbage bag. I would go to the because obviously my business totally went away when COVID happened. And so I had to pivot to something else. And so I literally was selling beauty products on Amazon, and I would have garbage fucking bag full of bubble mailers of like shit that I was buying for $4.20, and it was ripping off for like $15 on Amazon, like all day, like hundreds of fucking transaction. I mean, that was just like, didn't matter what you did, you could buy something and flip it. Like literally, like I was literally flipping $4 nail products. You know what I mean? I mean, it was like easy, and it was so easy. It was the easiest thing I'd ever done. So those days,
and we showed a little bit of it on YouTube or whatever. Like I was doing a lot of wholesale stuff. I had an office, and it was like, I remember like I would get the orders and I would be printing out the orders, and 3 more would come in. This was during the height of the pandemic and stuff. And so just a weird time. I wouldn't even like call it like a hobby boom. It was like an everything boom. The early 90s was definitely more of a hobby specific thing, in my opinion. But there's been a lot of times, there's been even more times where card companies have kind of built themselves up and built up a reputation in the hobby, and then they go broke. And I think that's kind of what we're seeing right now. Can SCR sponsor my Bloomberg terminal renewal fee? I don't even know what it is, but I think it's a lot. Panini doesn't publish their financials because it's not publicly traded. But again, if you have the right access, you can get financial information on just about anyone. And Panini is putting their financial information out there because they are trying to sell the company. If half your money is in cards, you're doing it all wrong. Probably. I would say probably. Depends on what you have, and depends on how long. If you accumulated all your cards when Jeff Wilson told you to accumulate, that's probably bad. But and look, I get paid to give stock advice, like literally. You know, as I sit here today, I have more of my money is in physical, real assets. And this is not financial advice, but just me personally, I do actually prefer real physical assets than even stocks, at least from a allocation perspective. I don't think it's not bad to be.
I think if you have a business, like if you have a business, you maybe want to go all in and have 90% of your money into cards. If you have a card shop, if you're a breaker, if you trying to sell cards, I think I would actually go all in. Like I would just, depending how old you are and depending on your situation in life, but I would just gamble, gamble, in my opinion.
Yeah, I wouldn't even call it.
Depends.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, it depends. Depends where you are in life. And I'm just talking about strictly from somebody who's trying to make it either an income source or a business. I would jam it all in. I mean, there were times where I had my entire net worth on 49ers and New York Jets parking. Like literally my whole net worth spread across the fucking parking spots across the NFL football stadiums, because I knew Monday morning it was all coming back to me. So if you had a way, if you had a Discord, if you had a way to unload cards, if you could unload cards quickly, I would actually go all in. Like Card Collector 2 should have all his fucking money in cards and in that business. All of it.
All his parents' money. You mean his parents' money?
Whoever's money it is, all of it. Like every dime he has, he should put it into his business, because this kid's 30 years old or whatever. You know, I think he's older than he looks. He's probably maybe in his late 20s or 30s. He should have all of his money in cards, all of it, because he has the knowledge, he has the business, he has the know-how, and he should just fucking rev it to the floor. That's my opinion.
Yeah, and I think it just depends. If you look at the most successful people in the world, oftentimes they kind of go all, like Elon Musk kind of goes all. I mean, he's more diversified now, but at one time he was pretty much all in on PayPal and then all in on Tesla, basically. And so, you know, you look at like in Jeff Bezos of Amazon was basically, you know, eating and sleeping Amazon. So yeah, if you want to make this your business, I would just eat and sleep cards and forget about everything else. You know, if you're like me, kind of a casual collector, you know, I don't know what the percentage is, but if you have the right cards, if you have Tamar Johnson or whatever the guy's name is, like, I think you're probably doing it wrong. You're buying $3,000, 5'8", 19-year-old baseball players. Probably not what I would do. But if you have bunch of Babe Ruths and Tiger Woods and Kobe's and Jordans, I mean, I don't know. Could be worse.
Hopefully my
Brian-
boy's at the fall league in a couple of weeks, and maybe I'll
you
literally
go. Check him
get
out.
to stand.
There
I
you
can
go.
stand next to him, and I can actually
us,
see what height he is.
Give us a report.
175. He's 5'8", 175.
175.
Good Lord.
I mean, I'm not a big guy, but I think I was
That's similar to me.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm not bullish on guys that are 5'8", 175. It's just my thing from baseball perspective. Brian Gray, edible redemptions. Be interesting. Gary Fusey. I bought a 3-color game used patch, white, yellow, and brown. Brian Gray underwear patch. A lot of hate for Brian today.
Damn.
Did Ken Golden take care of his redemptions from Scoreboard? I don't think he did. So this is also why I would not. This is why I don't trust these companies when they don't. There's no incentive for these companies to take care of you after the license is stripped away. After the incentive to make the cards is stripped away, there's no incentive to do it. And so, yeah, I'm concerned. Install uBlock to get rid of all those ads. No, these ads. Let's pay the bill over here at Sports Korea. Please don't. Yeah, we should block the IP of people that block ads from visiting Sports Card Radio. You have to show the ads.
Yep.
You have to show.
show the ads.
Yeah. Ryan and I have probably made, I don't know. I don't want to say, but we've made a lot of money on ads. Yes, it costs to join his Discord. Yeah, like people are literally paying to join this Ryan Cards guys Discord. I mean, just shows you in this hobby. I mean, you can buy on Check Out My Cards. You can buy on Golden. You can buy on eBay. Shit, you can buy on Instagram and Twitter. People literally pay to buy 19-year-old baseball players that are 5'8", and then allegedly paying $1,000 for one with a jammed corner. They literally pay. You can get like cash back if you go to like Rakuten. You can get like 1% cash back on all your purchases on eBay. And these dorks will literally pay to buy cards on Discord. So I don't know. I don't know. Sell the Patek and feed the kids. I wish I had a Patek. I'm not quite. I haven't quite. I need an AP. I'm going Rolex, AP, Patek. I don't have a relationship with a Patek dealer either. AP, that one's coming. SVA card collectors. I used to do a podcast and had a show about Jabs, and his wife emailed me after the divorce saying I didn't understand what she went through. Ryan,
whoa.
I think you're sliding into the wrong DMs. I think you are sliding in. You were sliding into Jab's Discord and his DMs when you should be sliding into Miss Former Jab's Discord and DMs.
You are correct. I think what SVA card collectors should do is resurrect his podcast, get back into those DMs with, I think her name was Heather or whatever her name was, Jab's ex-wife, and let's record a special edition of SVA, the SVA podcast, and we could either simulcast it on Sports Card Radio or we could hijack it like I do everything else and just be like, hey, there was this story over here. You got here, everybody look. So SVA, get that podcast. We'll sponsor the show. We will sponsor the show. We will 3-figure sponsor the show. If you get Jab's wife
3-figure
to come on, and hey, breaking news! I think somebody sent me an email. I get emails all the time about fucking Jab's family. Somebody sent me something saying that he just broke. So he had a new girlfriend, and then I guess maybe he just broke up with her. So there could be an opportunity for a couple guests. But I will, if you resurrect your podcast, and it doesn't have to be on YouTube, it could be audio only. I will sponsor it. Sports Card Radio will sponsor it.
Wow.
We'll sponsor that episode and then the episode after. So you get in contact with us. 1712 Santa Clara over East Rutherford, New Jersey.
It's two teams that are challenged on how to name what city they're from.
Well, the greatest thing about you can't scalp tickets in New York. So the fact that the Jets and Giants play in New Jersey, no, it's not, because they play in New Jersey. So you can scalp the tickets.
Yeah, when they said the Super Bowl was in New York and it was actually in New Jersey, such a dig on. Your state really sucks when the Super Bowl's there and they say it's in the neighboring state. That's really
It's in the
really bad, really bad. Alicia Smith with the $5. Why do men only fondle pictures of other men on trading cards? I'm known as the world's sexiest athlete, and yet no trading cards of me exist. Know if this is real or not. Alicia Schmidt says I'm assuming this is a she, is claiming she is the world's sexiest athlete.
We're right up there.
We could definitely
we are confirming those stats.
Oh my God. We speak. Okay, Alicia, please.
We have some confirmation.
Call into the program. Ryan wants you to call into the program
immediately. In fact, what are you doing right now? We could have a pre-interview over here. And
yes, we demand an in-person interview.
Right.
I will be there
now.
Magically, Ryan and I will appear in the same room. And Tim will be driving up from Southern
California. Next time this happens, I'll just butt in immediately.
Immediately. Now. Alicia, call me now.
I would agree, Alicia. You're onto something. I would be a very rabid card collector if these are the type of cards we could pull out. Pull out. So maybe what she said. Yeah, I mean, I'm very much a fan of yours now, and rooting for whatever you have going on. Looks fantastic on the track there. Just fantastic. Appreciate the $5. Anything you need from Sports Card Radio and Ryan in particular, I'm sure he'll be set to deliver for you. Is she dating Homeboy? Is that I see some pictures with the soccer guy
now. She's dating me. She saw my bank account after our article went viral today, so she's currently dating me.
My wife texted me, so that confirms how attractive this young lady is. You should probably, Alicia, come on the show next week. It'd be fantastic. It'd probably be pretty highly rated. Rick Galves, why doesn't CC2 ever contact you guys? Is he not allowed to email? Is he not allowed to email unless he asks his parents? Probably not. I don't know. I don't think we've ever been in. I think he probably is wise to stay out of our airspace. I think he actually plays that correctly, to just stay out of our airspace. And that is the wise thing to do, because if he got in it, that would probably not go well.
He don't want me to spend 3 hours editing a video on him. Like, I guarantee you that. So he's doing the wise thing.
Probably not. Mike Bentley with the $10. Thank you. Really appreciate that. Folks, next week, Alicia will be on the program and prominently featured in the thumbnail.
God dang right she will be.
And she sent us $5. We'll send her it back, and maybe Ryan, you're offering a card YouTuber $100, I think, maybe to sponsor his podcast. How much would you sponsor for Miss Schmidt here to come on the show?
Look, this girl would end up with my entire net worth. So I mean, it's all going to her. Like, this is one where it all goes to her. You just make all the promises. It all's going to her. Come on now.
Okay.
I'm also a professional photographer if you need.
That's right. There might be video involved.
She's got some good, she's got some good shots. I tell you what, she's got some good shots.
Fantastic. Well, we look forward to having her on the show next week. Gentlemen, that about wraps it up for tonight. We've got some work to do, and we will get to that. Ryan, you know what you got to do tonight. Get me that M&M. I think M&M's number one.
We're close.
I think Babe Ruth
like
is
a
up
minute
there.
left.
That Kobe's nice. That's too expensive.
25.
I don't want the altered one. And I'm not a fan of that. Don't need that. Don't
What?
need that. I could use
You don't like
that.
this? Oh, that's
Nah,
gonna be
I
like
just
2
think
racks.
his career is. I think his career's just. It's over, and it's like how is he looked upon in the NBA? You know, like yeah, he's a top player, but it's like so is Reggie Miller. You know what I mean? Like
He's better than
Reggie
Reggie Miller. Come on.
But-
Come on.
I don't know, Reggie. You know, like
Come on. He's better than Reggie Miller. Let's not.
Clyde
No.
Drexler, you know, like
No,
Clyde
no,
Drexler
no,
was
no,
too.
no. He's better than Clyde
don't
Drexler.
know.
No. Stop it. Stop.
I mean, he's better,
Please,
but
no.
like I'm talking about like hobby wise, like hobby love wise.
Okay, that's fair
Yeah.
enough. Fair enough there.
That's
But
how I view it.
skill set.
That's how I view it.
Okay, that's fair enough. I'm not
Skill set
gonna
is completely
argue
different.
with that.
There's a lot of skilled NBA players that their cards aren't worth anything. So,
I think you are the
but yeah,
proud
that
owner
that
of
would
it.
look absolutely.
M&Ms.
I'm not sure how I'd frame that, but I would love to figure out how.
Should we actually better ask Rick and Ty if this is real or not? Actually, but
That's true. You would want to do that. That's a test pressing. So just the record itself looks pretty cool. Yeah, I'd be down with that. It's not in. Is it in a case? When you scroll down,
don't
is
think
it
it's in
already is
shit.
it in a PSA case? It's not in a case.
No.
Okay.
This is not. This is
Okay.
yeah. So we got to be real careful with this. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay.
But
Excited
it
about
is-
that.
It's something that's easily frameable. So
would
I don't
frame
know
it
if
and
it's
it
a
would-
40. I don't know if
There.
it's a full size record or it's a 45 or what, but I don't know what size it is.
Okay.
I can't tell.
Zup says Alicia made his screen a little sticky, so
Oh,
it's a problem.
Alicia. I expect my DMs to be filled with your messages. It'll be like
Filled.
the fake Jeff Wilson. I'll get all these messages from.
I know. Yeah, we're like Alicia's going to be on the show, and it's like some fat old man or whatever. It's like Brian Gray's cousin or something.
No, she'll ask us for $800 right before, like 2 minutes
Right, I
before. She'll be like, "Could you send me
We'll send it to
800?
her.
I'm short on my rent. Could you send it to me?"
All right. Well, it is 17-12. 49ers are driving in their own territory. Hopefully, you guys have a wonderful night. We'll join you again next week here on the program over at Sports Card Radio. Who knows what kind of content Ryan will be posting on the website. Head on over to sportscardradio.com. We have employees pumping out the content that ChatGPT is spitting out. We have videos. We have all kinds of things we'll be talking about. I mean, the content is just coming. I mean, other than the ads, there's a lot of content coming over here at Sports Card Radio. Make sure you click on that Mama Breaks ad that is at the top and sign up for the Fanatics app. Get us at $7.
Click on that.
And we promise next week, either Alicia or a very, very ugly old man impersonating her will be on the show. Hopefully you guys have a wonderful day out there. We'll be back again some other time, some other place. But for now, we're out of here.
B-side on the beat.
What's going on with that PPP? You done a lot of talking, not a lot to see. Up in the millions like 2.3, but Geoff got it all, getting off scot-free. Try to talk tips like we talking about stock, but you're talking about men printed on cost stock. When you open your mouth, I take it with a grain of salt, cause the market's down and you're a clown, it's all your fault. You ruined the hobby I love with your bullshit. Geoff Wilson. You ruined the hobby I love with your bullshit. Geoff Wilson. Did you dip, Geoff? I think you dipped, Geoff. What you talking about? I don't think you dipped yet. Willie's doing shady shit like the GOBs, like his whole failed thing with them NFTs, taking money from the people to pay. Most of them are broke, but that's okay, he's getting money. Even better, tax free. Loving all the stimulus from PPP. You ruin the hobby I love with your bullshit. Geoff Wilson, Geoff Wilson. You ruin the hobby I love with your bullshit. Geoff Wilson, Geoff Wilson. You ruin the hobby I love with your bullshit. Geoff Wilson, Geoff Wilson. You ruin the hobby I love with your bullshit.
B-side on the beat.
What's going on with that PPP? You done a lot of talking, not a lot to see. Up in the millions like 2.3, but Geoff got it all, getting off scot-free. Try to talk tips like we talking about stock, but you're talking about men printed on called stock. When you open your mouth, I take it with a grain of salt, cause the market's down and you're a clown, it's all your fault. You ruin the hobby I love with your bullshit. Geoff Wilson, Geoff Wilson. You ruin the hobby I love with your bullshit. Geoff Wilson, Geoff Wilson. Did you dip, Geoff? I think you dipped, Geoff. What you talking about? I don't think you dipped yet. Willie's doing shady shit like the GOBs, like his whole failed thing with them NFTs, taking money from the people to pay. Most of them are broke, but that's okay, he's getting money. Even better, tax free, loving all the stimulus from PPP. You ruin the hobby I love with your bullshit. Geoff Wilson, Geoff Wilson. You ruin the hobby I love with your bullshit. Geoff Wilson, Geoff Wilson. You ruin the hobby I love with your bullshit. Geoff Wilson, Geoff Wilson. You ruin the hobby I love with your bullshit.